Way back, I was in the Children's Shakespeare Company of Montreal, and I got promoted from being a fairy in A Midsummer Night's Dream to being Snug the Joiner. So that was like a real bump up. And I got a big laugh. I was 9 years old. And I got a big laugh for something I didn't understand why people were laughing. And I was like, ooh, this feels really, really good. And so I'd say that was probably my first comedy on stage experience. When I started out professionally, when I was on the Second City stage, one difference is to do with representation. Casts sometimes were 5 men and 2 women, or 4 men and 2 women, occasionally 3 and 3. And there was just a belief that the women could never outnumber the men. And the men were the ones who would carry the show. And the women, of course, would bring some funny stuff and play their roles, but 2 women was plenty, So we were usually in the minority, and that, as far as representation on stage and stage time, that has an effect. Also around women's material conditions. Fewer opportunities. So fewer women are making a paycheck, and fewer women are getting the experience to have their own shows, to hire other women. Like, it has an impact when there aren't as many opportunities. Then when I moved into writing rooms, usually I was the only woman, or there'd be one other woman sometimes in there. So I think a big part of that, it has an impact, because like in the Baroness writing room, where we're primarily women, when you bring up an idea, and you pitch it around the room, people who, it's a good idea when people say, oh, I've had that experience, I know what you're talking about, me too, that's great. And everyone sort of builds on the idea you come in with. So for women, I think it has changed, because as more women move into positions of power, and as there are more women creators and more women in shows, then it allows for more women to come up with them or beside them, and also helps with the creative process. Oh, for sure. Actually, I almost gave up the night before we got greenlit for Baroness. So I'd been working, trying, we'd all been hoping the show would go, and working hard, and I was like painting my friend's porch to make money. I was cleaning her garage, grocery shopping for her family. Luckily, she was well paid, worked for a bank. She's like, look, I can hire you. So I was doing that. I'd had maxed out my credit. This is embarrassing, but I was going for it. Like, I really believed in Baroness. And so all my eggs were in this basket, and I worked tirelessly, whether it was working on the pitch doc to get it exactly how it had to be, you need more pages for it to flesh it out, whatever. So work, and on the phone with Meredith always, like, we got this show. Are they going to take it? Is it going to be greenlit? And we'd done a couple of demos and for the show for CBC, and we're just waiting, and it was March, and my money had run out. I was like, oh no, like, I'm screwed. And so the night before I heard, I had a breakdown. I was like talking to my partner Moynihan, and I'm like, it's not happening. We didn't get it. Everyone else had gotten their green lights, and we hadn't heard anything. And I'm crying, and I'm like, okay, I can't actually stay in this business anymore. I knew I didn't want to write in other people's voices. I put everything, I wanted to work with these women. I wanted to do this show. And so that morning was like, okay, I'm going to get a job. Like, maybe who knows? I might go into the healing arts. I don't know. I'm going to just pursue other things, maybe teach, do whatever, lots of any other options. But I think I'm leaving TV and comedy and stuff. And then I got the phone call, like literally, I don't know, half an hour later, 20 minutes later, saying we'd been greenlit for 6 episodes. And then, wow, the puck went in the net, or the basket. It was like a 3-pointer, like just from the time's run out, and you're like, oh, well, and then swoosh, what? So we were thrilled. I mean, I guess, hopefully you're funny. Hopefully you're funny, or like someone finds you funny. You have enough energy and time in a day to devote time to writing, whether that's writing out your thoughts, jokes, sketches, points of view, insights, or just giving some things some thought comedically. I think certain discipline there is important. Perseverance is super important. I mean, it's a timing thing, right? Like, I was trying to, develop some work way back when, and I remember this higher up guy in LA coming to Second City and meeting with each of us. I think some project was underway, and he's like, I think you'd be better behind the camera than in front of it. Like, oh, okay, thank you. Knowing who to listen to and who not to. When I auditioned for Second City, I remember hearing from the box office, oh, they're not even hiring women this year. They're hiring men, they're not hiring women. They're gonna keep the women they have. Turned out they hired 3 new women, and that's when I got in. So don't always listen. Listen to people, but don't take them at their word. You hear things like no one wants improv, or no one wants sketch, or no one wants women in their 40s, whatever. If you're confident, you know what's happening, and you've got a line on some truth, comedic truth, then go with that. Trust yourself and your contemporaries. Go see other people's work, or go out and do your own work, and collaborate with people with complementary skills.